the next agenda in our program here today at East Venture Summit 2022. We'll be having another panel of speakers, and the topic will be really interesting. It is titled, Reimagining Indonesia's Agriculture by Strengthening the Supply Chain, a session by Utari from Aruna and Samuel Tirta Saputra from Go Komodo. They will discuss how a private sector responds to society needs, how to get good quality agriculture products with convenient access and competitive prices. Ladies and gentlemen, first I'd like to invite Ms. Devina Halim, the moderator, to please come to the stage, and also our speakers, Utari from Aruna and Samuel Tirta Saputra from Go Komodo.
Okay, hi everyone, welcome back. Hope you have a good lunch and good coffee break. So it's our third and final panel of the day. The theme for today's panel is very interesting and very relevant. It's reimagining Indonesia's agriculture by strengthening the supply chain. So I'm Devina and I'll be moderating today's panel. And with me, I have my two amazing founders here, Utari from Aruna and Sam from Go Komodo. Let's start off with a quick introduction about yourself and also about what you're doing in the company. From Sam.
Hi everyone, it's been nice spending this afternoon with you in Bali. My name is Samuel and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Go Komodo. So before we found the company in 2019, I was a supply chain and commercial executive of a publicly listed palm oil company in Indonesia. So throughout my working experience, I found out that even though the agriculture industry is a very prominent one in our country, but the way it's still being managed is still very old school. Why is this so? The reason is, I think number one is because it's geographical. I think most of the Indonesian agriculture space is actually located spread around all over in the Indonesian islands, and mostly they are located in the remote areas. So information flow and stuff like that tends to be slower. And secondly, I think it's more on the agricultural workforce. The industry is dominated still by the old generation. Mostly of the Indonesian young talents, I think they prefer to take their talents to the modern city in a more modern industry, right? So we have a shortage of talent in the agriculture. That is why technology is a little bit slowly adapted, and for education and proper farming practice is still lacking in our country. So that is why we found Go Komodo. Go Komodo is to solve problems. Basically, we provide a supply chain, digital supply chain ecosystem for the plantations and the agriculture industry. Our product consists of, we have our e-procurement to serve the large corporations. We have currently 2,400 suppliers and more than 100 corporate clients in our platform. We also have, we just launched last year our B2B commerce. That is to serve the smaller companies and also the smallholders, the corporation in the KUDs. And also we have logistics service that we are working with our partner. And we are also building physical distribution hubs in the really remote areas in Indonesia. We plan to have 25 hubs by the end of this year. And by next year, hopefully we can reach 100.
Amazing. Utari, you wanna go next?
Yeah, thank you so much for the for the invitation to Aruna. My name is Utari Oktavianti. I'm the co-founder and Chief Sustainability Officer of Aruna Indonesia. Aruna is one of the largest integrated fisheries commerce in Indonesia, where we helping thousands of fishermen to connect them with the global market. One of the reasons why we started Aruna actually because me and also the co-founders come from the fishery background, where we see there is no opportunity for the people that live in coastal village to get a better market access. So I think that's the reason why with the technology, we want to help the fishermen and also the people that live in coastal village to have a better market and better income for their family. I think that's how we work for now. Currently, we already working with 36,000 fishermen We have like 150 location. We call it like Aruna Hub. It's like the processing plant. We also working together with the factory and also the processing plant to produce not just the high quality seafood with the fresh condition, but also in live and also process. Currently, we already exporting like 45 million kilograms seafood to 8 countries until today. And we hope to expanding like our fisherman community more and helping more and more people that live in the coastal village, not just in terms of the economic, but also about the planet and also the people.
Talking about environment and planet, Utari, your title is a Chief Sustainability Officer, and not a lot of companies have that title. Do you want to explain a bit about the role and some of what you do at Aruna?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting title as a sustainability because I think more and more company in this world starting to concern about not just about the planet but also about the continuity of the business itself. From the research that created by the IFC find out that the company that start to focus in the sustainability tends to become the longer company in terms of sustain of their business. That's why we in Aruna want to start not just focus about how to become like profitable, but also how to make sure that every business process is sustainable in terms of the productivity, in terms of the people that working in our business. And we also implementing like the ESG standard in the production line, but also in creating like our technology.
Great. So when we talk about agriculture, it's a very massive industry in Indonesia. The sector contributed about 11% of ASEAN's total GDP and about 14% of Indonesia's GDP in 2020. And the sector itself has been going massive technology transformation in the recent years and catalyzed by agri-tech players such as yourself. Do you guys want to talk about maybe about some of the challenges that have been happening, especially within the supply chain, and how are you different compared to other players that have been existed in the market? Utari, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. We all realize, right, especially for the company that working with the international logistic, we find there is a challenge for shipping line. It's so hard to get like the containers, the shipping logistic increased by 2 until 3 times. So again, it's a challenge, especially in the pandemic. But I think what is the most important things is about how we as a management and as a founders can find like other option in the crisis and how we can see like there is an opportunity in the crisis. For example, in Aruna, we are one of the company that continuously growing. We even grow like 10 times compared before pandemic and after pandemic, even in the pandemic, because we do shifting our business model, not just focusing on the B2B, but we also expanding in the B2C market. We changing from the food service target market to become more retail and reserve the ready-to-cook product in the seafood. So I think by changing the strategy and looking the opportunity in the pandemic, it can help us as a company to grow. And there is also second things that we do is about collaborating with more and more community direct with the fishermen. I think that's also help us to increase like our profit margin and so on. So yeah, that's the challenge for the pandemic, especially in the logistic. And Indonesia also have a challenge in the infrastructure when it's so hard to get the connectivity from one island to other island. But we've solved it by have collaboration with our ministry and also government.
Okay.
Similar, Sam?
Yes, from our point of view, okay, Indonesia agriculture probably covers like about 40 million hectares total of Indonesian agriculture. Yeah? I think from the 40 million, the top 2 will be palm oil, 16 million hectares, and the second one is rice, 11 million. Yeah? But in terms, I mean, we cover a big area, but in terms of the productivity, unfortunately, we are still behind even our neighboring countries. So for example, like in palm oil, Malaysia is producing at 4 tons per hectare yield, while we are still doing 2.7. And it's even, the yield is even worse in the smallholders compared to the corporates, right? And like in rice, for example, China being the leader, they produce 6.5 tons per hectare, while our nearest neighbor, Vietnam, is doing 5.8 tons per hectare, and Indonesia is only doing about 4.6 tons per hectare. So I think the issue mainly is one, we still have lack of education and proper farming practice. Number two, we are a little bit behind on mechanization compared to the other countries. And number three, where we came play into part is we have difficulty in the supply chain of input products. Yeah? GoComodo is really focusing on input products that we supply to support the operation of the agriculture companies. So we don't really play on the output. We do things like fertilizers, harvesting tool, agrochemicals, and stuff like that. And the main reason is Indonesia, as Utari has mentioned before, is challenging because we have multiple islands, and logistic is not only about land transport, but we have land, sea, sometimes land, and sometimes even river transport. So it's more of a challenge compared to our neighboring countries to get the products into the estate and into the agriculture field to be applied. So sometimes nurturing can be late. And yeah, I think where GoComodo play a role into this is basically with the Corp Commerce, we support the corporates to actually have more better procurement decision and transparency, right? And we also, through our B2B commerce and logistics service, now they are able to actually anticipate logistic inefficiency in the chain and use our services. And on the third part is our advantage is actually using this corporate leverage, the buying power of the corporate leverage, to actually help the smallholders, which is the KUD and the small farmers who are selling the fruits to the corporates, to be able to get more access to different varieties of products and also definitely better prices, because the suppliers that's been entering their market has been exploiting them after all this time. Yeah. And I think, yeah, that's it.
So earlier, both of you talk about a lot of challenges that's been going on, especially within the supply chain of agriculture value chain. You talk about the challenges of having the lack of infrastructure, and you talk about the lack of education, also financing. But you know, agriculture has been facing especially numerous challenges recently. We talked about the global supply chain disruption earlier from the panel of new consumer. So how does it impact the agriculture sector in general, especially within the supply chain, who has been facing still many challenges related to infrastructure in the past? And if so, what are some of the key initiatives that you can share to help solve these issues? Utari, you want to go first?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting topic because if we talk about the fishery in Indonesia, we have 2.7 million fishermen that live as a fisherman, but most of them living under poverty. One of the biggest reasons is because most of the fishermen don't have any access to the end market, and by having like this global supply chain problem, it becomes and trigger the fishermen to more and more poorer. And by that, Aruna create like so many initiatives. One of them is by creating the Aruna Hub. Aruna Hub is one of the solution where we educate the fishermen directly by every day giving them education together with our local heroes as the one who operate our technology and discussing about digitalization to the fishermen. The second problem is because most of our fishermen, in terms of the crisis, like today, they don't have the know-how to treat the products, especially the seafood, to become good quality. And this gap about education in terms of the quality of the seafood is also educated by our fishermen together with our local heroes so they can serve like the better market. And the last thing is not just about the quality and also the supply chain, but also about the planet or environment. Together with our fishermen, we telling them to create like the seasonality, and we also educate the fishermen to, for example, planting the mangrove and also protecting the fish stock in the ocean. So even the crisis, they can manage their productivity, and it will help them to have the savings just in case there is a problem in the supply chain. So I think that's the key initiative for Arona for now.
I think from our side, yes, definitely the recent supply chain crunch has been affecting our industry in a major way. So for example, one of our biggest input is fertilizers, right? Indonesia consume around 10 to 12 million tons of fertilizers every year. And unfortunately, 8 million tons or 80% of it is still being imported. So the recent war in Eastern Europe, and Eastern Europe being one of the major producer of fertilizers, it really actually affected in a sense that local fertilizer prices has increased by double to triple in some cases. And we also have shortage of stock everywhere, and it's ongoing now, yeah? The problem, it's real. And in terms of other items, even though it's produced domestically, but a lot of raw materials we still dependent from overseas, and the supply crunch is real, and we have stock shortages everywhere. So that will definitely affect the yield and the productivity of the agriculture space. What GoComodo can help is, number one, of course, with our corporate commerce, now our customers can get access to varieties of product. They can choose for alternative products, and they can see which products are available in every different region, because we are present in most of the provinces in Indonesia. And number two, in terms of logistic, we are working closely with our partner. I need to give thanks also to Pa Andre and Edwin here. Yeah. So we are working closely with another EV portfolio, Ware6, where we get the demand, we manage the demand, and we ask them to actually manage the shipment. So we will, through our platform, we are able to identify which routes that that is the constant route in Indonesian archipelago, and actually secure some contracts, because the supply chain doesn't only happen in globally, but it also affect domestically, where it's domestic container is so hard to find, and you really have less availability of local vessels and also local trackings. So thanks. So one of the things being good about being a portfolio of EV is, they get you connected with other startup, and sometimes you have the same vision, and we can actually scale. I mean, me and Andre, I think for the past 1 year, we've managed to transport more than 300,000 tons of fertilizers all over Indonesia. So thanks.
And we especially love all of the partnerships that's been going on under EV, and hopefully one of these events can help you guys to meet and connect with each other, and hopefully we'll take the business even forward. So just to be mindful of the time, my final question would be an interesting statistics, right? Indonesia's agriculture actually employs a total of 37 million working adults, which is even higher than the population of Malaysia. So it's a massive industry. What is your takeaway with what's been going on with the current macroeconomic condition, with the global supply chain crunch? What is your take for the sector in the future, in the coming term?
Okay, I think no doubt, digitalization will be one of the key factor in the agriculture in the industry in Indonesia. But one of the things that we need to know, I think it's digitalization will only be one part of the solution. I think what we need to do is also to set up the right infrastructure, the right workforce, and before technology can be widely adopted. I mean, our GoComodo aim is actually to grow in both of these areas. And then the second one is basically the most important thing is one of the key success for agriculture in Indonesia is, I think, the two stakeholders in the industry, which is the corporate and the smallholders and the farmers. They have to work hand in hand together to support each other to actually grow the industry. I mean, the corporates has to take a more active role to become like a partner and mentor for the smallholders, so that they can have better farming practice and also better product input. That is why at GoComodo, what we are trying to do is we are trying to use technology to build the bridge between the corporate and the smallholders so that we can help speed up the process of making the supply chain more efficient. I think that way we can also improve the farmers' welfare, which is our aim, and also to make Indonesia become the leading agriculture country in the world. Yeah.
How about you, Tari?
I think I totally agree with what Go Komodo mentioned about the infrastructure, because infrastructure is one of the things that we as a country need to resolve and to improve our agriculture. But in terms of fishery industry, especially for the fishermen, I think one of the most important thing, the first one is about the technology, because we need to help them connect with the right market, with the right pricing and the feed quality control. But the second one is about the community-based platform. So it's not just focused about creating like the high-tech product. It's not always about create like the advanced technology for the fishermen, but it's all about how we can manage together with the fishermen, improving their knowledge and know-how in the fishery industry to connect them with the global standard. And I think that's one of the important role that Aruna do, and that's also how, for now, we just can fulfill 15% of our demand. So there is still so many room to grow, but to achieve that, we need to acquire more and more fishermen in Indonesia to help them connect with the market. I think that's from our side.
Okay, amazing. And with it, I conclude our final panel of the day. I'd like to invite all of you to give a round of applause for all of our esteemed panels. And
thank you, Ms. Devina Halim, for moderating the discussion. And thank you to our speakers for the very invaluable insights and how we can all be strengthening the supply chain and at the end, giving Indonesia a unique role to be the global supplier of agriculture and fisheries. As a token of appreciation, here is a personalized caricature for our esteemed speakers. Thank you so much for being here. Utari Oktavianti, co-founder and Chief Sustainability Officer of Aruna. And thank you as well to Samuel Tirta Saputra, co-founder and CEO of Go Komodo. Next, we'd like to have a group photo session with both speakers and the moderator to celebrate this interesting panel discussion that gave us a deeper understanding about the relation of private sector and how it should respond to basic needs of society. The intertwining issues of economy, social empowerment, and sustainability present challenges, but also opportunities. Thank you so much to our speakers, and thank you once again, Ms. Devina Halim, for a very interesting discussion.